Welcome to the best football show. I am Brian Baldinger at Baldy NFL across all the social media platforms. Pick one, I'm on it. Been posting videos since Sunday night after I did that Rams-Colts game. Just stayed right there at SoFi Stadium, broke it down and went across the NFL Network, broke it down all night Saturday or Sunday and Monday. You can find this show by downloading a free Odyssey app, liking, subscribing, commenting, telling all your friends about it. We call this Tuesday. We call this Tuesday's Takeaways. So I have watched most of the games so far. I'm still getting through Denver and Cincinnati, and somehow I still got to watch what Carolina put on tape. But I've watched most of the games this week already. I had a good jump Sunday night. Like I said, I spent yesterday at NFL Network, like literally from 7 in the morning till 8 at night. I watched film all day. So that was fun. So here's what I got. I got 5 takeaways today that I want to talk to you about. And I want to start right in New York with Jackson Dart. Because you can't – you're 0-3 and you're playing a 3-0 team of the Chargers who played great football, beating the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Broncos. And doing it in real style. I mean, great defense, explosive offense. I mean, the whole thing. And then Jackson Dart got his start. I had been a proponent of him playing just because I've gotten to know the kid a little bit. I've watched him at Ole Miss a bunch, getting ready for the draft. They took him in the first round. There was a reason why Russell has been just on 1-year contracts going around the league the last few years. Like, it just caught up to him. But I thought when he took the field and he took him on that 11-play, 89-yard drive and finished it with a 15-yard quarterback draw behind Cam Scatterboo to go up 7-0. I thought MetLife Stadium was going to explode. And it did explode. But, I thought it was physically was going to, lift off. But more than – you expect that from the crowd. Giants fans are hungry. They haven't seen anything at the quarterback position in a long time. You expect that from the fans. But what I knew would happen is his teammates were going to get lifted. And that's what happened. The body language changed. The juice. When he scored that touchdown, and John Runyon and Andrew Thomas and, Greg Van Roten and those guys, John Michael Schmitz, are running into the end zone to celebrate with them. Like that had been missing from his team for the first 3 weeks. And then the defense played with the lead. And, man, did they play. But you look at the stat sheet, okay, 1 touchdown pass, but no turnovers against, Tui Peloto had 4 sacks. They sacked him a bunch. They chased him, didn't turn the ball over, didn't put the ball in harm's way, ran when he had to, rescued a bunch of plays with his legs, extended some plays, found Theo Johnson over the middle and found Malik Nabers and, Darius Slayton. You found these guys on the move. Eyes were open down the field like you want. It's just a beginning. But, man, the defense, we thought the defense could be good. We thought, and when you draft Abdul Carter and you've seen Brian Burns play healthy and what Kayvon could be in his 3rd year and what Dexter Lawrence has been, you thought that front could be dangerous. They were dangerous. They had 12, like the 3 guys, Kayvon, Abdul, and Brian Burns. They had 12 quarterback hits on Herbie. And then Dexter Lawrence has the biggest play of the game with the interception returned down to the 3-yard line. Now look, they lost Joe Alt during the game. Okay. They lost Mekhi Becton. Okay. Rashawn Slater's out. They were down to their backups. All right. Well, so what? That was been a great offense. So it didn't really matter. Those guys won up front, and it was impressive to watch, to see what they did, because the Chargers had plenty of chances in the 4th quarter to win that game, and they couldn't do it. And they did that to Denver. They came back down 10 in the 4th quarter and beat Denver. So and that's a very well coached team on both sides of the ball, and an explosive team. Jackson Dart makes a difference. Now they play the Saints this week. We'll see if there's a letdown, see if they can build on it. No Malik Nabers. It's a sad day for any Giant fan. You love to see a young quarterback grow with a young receiver. You just love to see that thing flourish. So other guys are going to get a chance. Jalen Hyatt, little Jordan Humphrey. Somebody's going to have to step up. Slayton, Wandale, you name it, Theo, maybe Scatterboo. I mean, they're going to have to cobble it together. All right, next. Philly goes to Tampa, and they win. They're up 24-3 in the second quarter. They're wiping them up off the mat. The Heat got to him. Baker made 2 unbelievable throws on scramble drills, one to Ibuka and one to Bucky Irving. And, next thing you know, the Bucks are in the game. But, there's some noise. There's some crying. There's some unhappy people at NovaCare where the Eagles practice. But here's the thing. Last year, after 4 weeks, and in the fourth game, they played Tampa and got smoked in Tampa last year. They were 2-2 after 4 games last year. They had thrown 4 interceptions in those 4 games, and they'd fumbled. This year, they're 4-0. Jalen Hurts has thrown 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. They've turned it over 1 time. They've got a formula. They don't lose. Now, is A.J. Brown upset? He's spitting out Bible verses. Here's A.J. Brown. He is not a diva. He's not, he's not a guy that's up about his stats. This is A.J. Brown's mentality. And it showed against the Rams the week before when the Eagles were down 26-7 and they had to throw it in the third quarter. And they started feeding A.J. and he went off. A.J. Brown is, I'm going to try to put this in nice terms, like he's a football killer. He has the mentality of a defensive end. Like he wants to sack the quarterback. He wants to destroy guys that are trying to cover him. Emmanuel Forbes 2 weeks ago. He wants to destroy Jamel Dean. He doesn't want to beat him. He wants to destroy him. And if he doesn't get the football, he doesn't get that opportunity. And he feels like it's not, okay, I didn't get a touchdown pass. I didn't get, Nakua's targets. I didn't get that opportunity to impose my will on that guy trying to guard me or that defense trying to bracket me or that defensive coordinator. He wants to destroy these people. Like physically, he's Terrell Owens, probably even faster than T.O. But he's Terrell Owens. That's his mentality. And that's what frustrates him if he's not getting targets. But they showed some creativity. They were 3 for 3 in the red zone, 3 different style of plays. You saw the flip to Goddard. You saw the fake tush push. They had some creativity. It's not easy going 3 for 3 in the red zone. All 3 touchdowns in the red zone. So is it the most – but here's the thing. When their defense is playing like they are and they're playing unbelievable special teams, block 2 kicks the week before against the Rams, block a punt, take it back for a score last week. When your special teams are playing lights out good, your defense is, they're shutting down Ibuka by Quinyon Mitchell traveling with him. Jalen is just he's probably going to bore you. It's going to be that type of offense. But is he 19-1 in his last 20 starts? I think he's 19-1 or 20-1 in his last starts and a Super Bowl MVP. So, anyways, let's get to the Rams. I did the Rams-Colts game. I've done the Rams 2 weeks in a row. And I talked to Puka Nacua in the end zone before the game Sunday. He could be the world's nicest guy. Like, he's so approachable. He's got just a lighthearted feel about him until he's on the field playing the game. And then he is hell on wheels. There's no route he can't run. If it's a 4-yard box cut on 3rd and 3, he's catching it. He's going to get the first down. If it's a go route and you got to beat Xavier Howard on a go route and lay out for the ball, he's going to do it, whatever it takes. He's got 42 catches in 4 games. 42 catches for 503 yards. He's on pace to set all kinds of records. But when you have that connection, they were down 2013 late in the fourth quarter to the Colts. Colts were playing good football. And, A.D. Mitchell was going in to score a touchdown and, bobbled the ball to goal line. And, it was a touchback. I mean, they could have easily won that game. But when you got Stafford and Nacua and you got Devontae, all right, and as you found out, you needed Tutu Atwell. to go win the game for you. And then you see the way Kyron and Blake Corum are running the football the last 2 weeks. It's a good football team. They see San Francisco on Thursday night at SoFi. It'll be a 49er crowd. But, man, Nakua and Stafford, the trust that they have, it's amazing to watch. It's what every quarterback receiver hopes that they get to. So it's fun to watch it. It's one thing to study it on tape like I do every week. Another thing to see it live 2 weeks in a row. I would say in 1 week, Kansas City is back. Xavier Worthy returning to that. Remember, against, in that opening game, they ran a crossing route with Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy, and Kelce clipped him, and he dislocated or sprained his shoulder. It was out. He came back last week. But now you first of all, the guy's a great football player. Whether you hand it off to him, put him in the backfield, run a fly sweep with him, run a go route with him, run a comeback. The guy's a football player. All right. Now he's gifted. He runs a 4.25 40. He's gifted, but he's a football player. And Mahomes couldn't. They threw it to him on the first play of the game. They threw it to him on the first play of the third quarter. They went deep to him a number of times. They got big plays from him. And then all of a sudden, things open up for Tyquan Thornton. He got a touchdown pass. Hollywood Brown, a lot of big plays. Juju, Travis, the offense looked. Now, it was against Baltimore, who's struggling on defense, but the offense looked fixed. And now you're going to get this Brashard Smith at running back from SMU. Kid's got some juice. You saw a little bit. He's going to get more and more touches. Nothing against, what they have there with Pacheco and whatnot, but you're going to see this Brashard Smith get on the field a little bit more. But the offense looks fixed. And I don't know if they have Lamar's number, but, Lamar just doesn't play good against them. The coverages, the blitzes, the pressures right at Lamar. Here comes Nick Bolton right at him. And he forces him into making some mistakes. And he made some. And so they wiped Baltimore up pretty good. But Xavier Worthy getting back, I feel like that offense is fixed. And then the last one is just Dak. Dak plays Green Bay, and there's no Tyler Booker at right guard. There's no Cooper Beebe at center. There's no CD Lamb, who's as good as there is in that offense. But they had Dak. And there was Micah Parsons on the other side. He played 48 snaps, and he was beating one tackle after another. He was going up and down the line and winning. And Dak was getting the ball out of his hands before Parsons could get there, all the way up until the final drive when they had to settle for the field goal, to tie it. They wanted to go for the touchdown badly, but Micah changed that, chasing Dak. But he put up 40 against the Giants, 40 against Green Bay. With CD, without CD, the offense makes sense. But, man, when Dak gets into a zone, like he was in a zone against Green Bay, he knows where to go with the ball. He's deadly accurate. He knows how to extend plays. He sees the field exceptionally well. That he made some, the comeback on the scramble drill to Jalen Tolbert coming out of the end zone against Keyshawn Nixon. That throw, Parsons is bearing down on him. I don't know how Dak got 40 yards of juice in his arm to make that throw to the sideline, but it was a huge chunk. So hats off to Dak. Hats off to Brian Schottenheimer. I know a tie is not a good thing. It's not as bad as a loss, but I feel like the offense, whoever's out there right now, is going to be a good offense. They know how to run the ball. They've got different types of runs for different guys. They know how to get rid of the ball quickly. They know how to run a 2-minute drill. Dak is he's just a good football player. And Green Bay is a good defense, and he carved them up. We found out that the Giants are a good defense, and he carved them up. So there's life and there's hope in Dallas that if they can get some things fixed defensively, that offensively, whenever CD comes back, you can expect 30 points in some of these games or more. So anyways, and oh, by the way, just look up after, the month of September, 4 games, Dak leads the NFL in pass yards with 1,119 yards. All right. So new offense, new coach, new scheme, different players, yada, yada, yada. There's Dak at the top of the rankings right now. So anyways, hats off to Dak. That's my Tuesday takeaways here for looking back at week 4. We're going to start looking ahead pretty soon here to week 5. Remember that 49ers-Rams game Thursday night kicks off week 5 at SoFi. We'll see if the 49ers can return after an ugly performance against Jacksonville. Thanks for joining me, everybody, on the best football show. I will join you again tomorrow.